Hey everybody, I am Paulo Fonseca from Proposal.app. This is the milestone delivery video for milestone 3 of our project on Arbitrum via the Questbook grants. We put a proposal in GovAC to build Proposal.app, to build the unified proposal lifecycle page. And we got a grant from the Questbook track in October, and we already delivered these 2 milestones, and now today this video is to deliver the 3rd milestone of the actual development part of the app. So last milestone we also went through this, so we have a status page on Proposal.app where it shows all of our services and servers and the uptime for each one of those. So you can see the uptime of the app over the past 90 days, the uptime of our services over the past 90 days, including the new service that maps form proposals to off-chain proposals and on-chain proposals auto-magically. We're going to go through that a little bit in a bit. And also the 3 servers that we actually have running self-hosted with the app and the uptime of each. And also some downtime, because every time we do deployments and restart and so on, sometimes we have to put them down. But still, overall, we have 99 to 95 uptime over the last 3 months. Let's talk about the mapping functionality. As we showed last time, we mapped all the proposals on Arbitrum, and this includes putting in the same group of a proposal the forum post, the off-chain vote, and the on-chain vote, or the several off-chain votes and several on-chain votes that there is for each proposal. And we have a little back office that we did where we basically created all the groups. And ever since last time when we shared this with the DAO, and we share the spreadsheet of all these groups done, our app with our new mapper service has been mapping the new proposals on the forum as new groups. So as you can see here, we have 2 recent groups, which are the building the Arbitrum DAO economy, which is this forum post, and the API for the time boost and Nova fee sweep, which is this forum post. And if you go to the forum of Arbitrum on the proposals category, and you order it by latest, you can see that this is a new proposal that was created 2 days ago, and it has only the main topic. And this one is also a new proposal that was created 3 days ago. So these 2 are the most recent proposals on the forum. All of these ones show up here because they're ordered by activity, so people commenting and so on, but these ones are already also created on our backend with our mapper services, but these 2 are the biggest ones. And you can see here that, for example, the elections that just ended recently for the grant program on DAO locator offerings is grouping the election thread and the 4 off-chain votes for all 4 elections, right? So this is our mapper service that puts in the same group all the assets of a proposal. And the asset could be the forum post, it can be the off-chain vote, and it can be the on-chain vote, right? So this, for example, is a forum and an on-chain, and so on and so forth. So all these groups are all Arbitrum's proposals properly grouped. And our work here has been to show the information of this proposal group all in the same page, all in the same view. That's what we've been designing and building, and that's what I want to show you the progress of. So first of all, the front end is not final. We're still have a lot of polishing up to do for typeface, colors, spacing, etc. But the functionality is all here, and that's what we're going to show and demo to you guys. So this example proposal on Arbitrum is a treasury management proposal by Entropy. And you can see that there's a proposal text here, and you can see then the feed of all the activity that happened in this proposal. And what we're calling activity is comments that people put on the forum thread, and also votes, and how people have voted, right? And so you can see here all the things going down until the beginning of times, right? As if it is a feed of activity on this proposal, right? And you can see also here a visualization of the full story of a proposal, right? So the proposal was posted on the forum on September 30, here in the bottom, right? And then some comments happened, and then the off-chain vote started, and then some more comments happened, and some votes happened, and then the off-chain voted with this, the on-chain vote ended with this result, then some comments, and then the on-chain vote, and then votes and comments, and then the on-chain vote results, and then some more votes and comments, and this is the summary of what has been happening in this proposal up until today, right? So this proposal, in total, has 117 comments on the forum thread, and 10,271 votes over the off-chain and on-chain votes. And so this gives you an overview of the history of the proposal, right? This timeline view here. And you can scroll through the feed and also filter what you want to see. So you can see here the filters on the unibrow, what we're affectionately calling the unibrow, which is this element here, where you can hide the comments and we just see the votes, right? And we can see what kind of threshold of votes we want to see, right? So right now I'm only showing the votes over 5 million ARB. So they're actually not that much, right? So they're like 20 votes, right? But both for the off-chain proposal and the on-chain proposal. So these are all the votes over 5 million and all the votes over 500,000, sorry, and all the votes over 50K ARB, which is the minimum threshold that we're using now, and which means that we're not showing votes below 50K right now, because usually those votes are not that relevant to the result, and they're also not from delegates that participate in governance in the forum and comment on proposals as well. Or we can show back the comments and see the comments here. And on each vote, if the vote has a reason, which basically, for example, here, this delegate is posting the reason on the vote, you can click and jump to the post that they're linking on the reason for the vote, and you can see their reasoning why they're voting this way. We still haven't grouped the users totally. So in this case, this is the L2Beat wallet with 18.2 million ARB. And this is Christoph from L2Beats. And we will in the future group his Discourse user account with this wallet, so it shows a unified view of this delegate. Also, an interesting thing that we are showing here is that we're showing the current voting power compared with the voting power at the time, so people can see if the voting power has gone up or down for each delegate. And yeah, you can see also the views for each comment on the forum and the likes of each comment on the forum. And you can see all the information about the proposal, right? Another thing you can see about the proposal is the full content of the proposal and the several versions of the proposal. So, as you know, on the forum, people can create several versions of the proposal. This proposal has 4 versions on the forum, right? So you can go here on the forum and cycle through the proposals and see the changes on the proposals. But right now, you cannot compare the text on the forum with what's on the snapshot vote, for example, right? But in proposal.app, you will be able to do that. So in proposal.app, for this proposal group, we have 7 versions of this proposal, right? And so this one is the latest version of the proposal on the forum. And if you go and click Show Changes, and you go to the previous version, you can see that this is the previous version of the forum, and then you go to Previous, and you can see the changes for the proposal that was posted on-chain by this address, right? And on the on-chain post, they added the title, and they removed these notices here, right? And they also changed this formatting of this link. We're highlighting changes in green which is new additions to the proposal body, in red, which is deletions from the proposal body, and in yellow, the differences in styling. So we've built a crazily complex set of tech to be able to do this diff properly, and you can compare the difference of several proposal versions for the ones that are on the forum and also for the ones that are posted on the off-chain votes and on the on-chain votes. So in here you can go back in time and see all the versions of this proposal. And of course, for each proposal, you can also see the results. So you can go here to the timeline on the side and you can click to see the results of the off-chain vote, right? That was on November 21. And you can see how people voted over time on this off-chain vote. In this case, this was a single choice vote with 4 abstain against. And you can see that people have voted this way over time. And you can see all the votes and you can order the votes by voting power and or date and so on. So this is our visualization of proposal results. It gets more interesting for the on-chain votes, where currently on Arbitrum, we have a quorum threshold that we need to hit so that proposals pass. And in here we're representing the visualization of the results for this on-chain proposal in this very particular way, where you can see that the abstain vote stacks on top of the for vote, because on Arbitrum, both for and abstain options count towards quorum. And we're also showing here how well this proposal is achieving quorum, right? So this proposal needed 122 million of quorum, and we got 189 million. And you can even see who was the voter that made this proposal achieve quorum. And let's say it was this voter, probably with 6.3 million, which actually, if you recognize the address, it is Entropy's wallet, and they voted abstain because it's their own proposal. And it make this proposal go past the quorum threshold. So very good vote by Entropy, by the way. So you can see the results for off-chain, on-chain. You can see all the activity in the feed, all the comments, all the votes above 50K. And this all loads pretty freaking fast. And so the reason why that happens is because we've developed a bunch of technology to be able to do this fast and snappy as it is. And Andre is going to go through all of that and show you how the backend works, how our stack works, and how all of that works. So back to you.
Hello everyone, I'm Andre, the other co-founder of Proposals.app. And I want to give you like a brief, hopefully, overview of what the tech stack behind it is. So let's start with the hardware. We currently have 3 servers. We are self-hosting most of the stuff, most of the things we build. Most of the things which make sense. We are not self-hosting our status page because that should be an external service. It should not be hosted by us. But other than that, we are hosting all the services we build. Out of these 3 servers, 2 of them are beefier, like SIB01 and SIB03 are beefier servers. They do a lot of computing. SIB02, it's a smaller server, and it takes care of quorum between the 3 when they need to decide how to migrate virtual machines and stuff like that. So this is a Proxmox cluster. These servers are basically linked together and they talk to each other and they can move workload from one to another. If one goes down, another one can pick up. And there are a couple of virtual machines that we run here. One of them is Proposals App Infra and the other one is Proposals App Observe. The Proposals App Infra VM takes care of all the backend services that we run, of the indexing, of the web app, of our all front end, of the Arbitrum.proposals.app front end, all the email services, push notification services and all that. And the observe VM takes care of all the observability we do inside of our apps to like make sure that everything runs smoothly. So let's go one layer deeper and see what's inside these VMs. We won't really go into the observe VM because that's like just a Grafana stack, pretty much standard logging and tracing ingestion stack. But on proposals.app infra, we have this thing called Coolify, which basically it's a platform as a service, but it's self-hosted. And you can configure it to run your own apps. It has continuous deployment, continuous integration, all that. And here we run all our backend and frontend services. So you can see the detective, for example, is the service that does all the indexing of the governance data for off-chain and on-chain as well. The discourse service takes care of indexing the discourse forums. Email service sends emails. The mapper does the magic mapping that Paulo was talking about. The push service takes care of push notifications. And then we have our old front end as well, and the Arbitrum.proposals.app front end. So this is like our own AWS taking care of how applications run and make sure that they are deployed and they stay alive, and if one of them stops or has an error, the thing restarts it automatically and all that. Cool. So yeah, let's go one layer even deeper inside it and see, okay, but what are these apps exactly? I decided a while ago, because governance data is super messy, not only philosophically, but also technically. I decided to, for all the backend and kind of indexing services that we make, to have them developed in Rust, since it's the most type-safe, strict language, and that makes sure that we don't mix data and we can ensure data consistency. So our detective and the discourse service, the ones which are indexing data, they are both written in Rust. And then the web app, it's Next.js 15 web app, which has like its front-end part and its back-end part, and it does the SQL queries and all that by itself. Cool. There is a lot of data that we handle, and that's why I have to come to the front end a bit later, but for that to make sense, I have to give you like a sense of the scale of data that we need to handle. For example, when it comes to votes, we have 6.76 gigabytes of votes indexed, which when you access a page or want to see a chart, that query and figuring out the results should go as fast as possible. There's also a lot of data for voting power, for example. It's like 3.3 gigabytes of voting power data indexed. So in order for all this to be as quick as possible, we are using like the latest Next.js best practices, and most of the things are done server-side rendered. So when you access the app, usually I have to give you a bit of context on how websites work, basically. When you access an app, usually you get an empty HTML file, and then it has a JavaScript file in it, and you have to go fetch the JavaScript file, and then you have to run it, and then the JavaScript file tells you, okay, you have to go fetch this more data, and after a bunch of ping pong between your browser and the server, you can see the page, but you cannot like instantly see the page. The way we do it is a bit different, where we prepare already all the HTML with all the things which don't need to be interactive on the server, and we send that directly to the user. So that's why the page is super fast, and everything that needs to load, it doesn't really wait, but it shows like a loading state, and then after the data is computed, the proper response is streamed in. So, for example, this is a proposal that's super dear to me, the Eat Bucharest proposal. I did a Lighthouse report on it, And the most important part from this report is the total blocking time, 80 milliseconds, which means that at all stages during interacting with the web page, the browser itself was only locked for 80 milliseconds. This is what makes the web app feel super snappy, because every time you click something, something happens. Even though if it's not loaded yet, or it still has to do some compute, it shows you a loading state, or it shows you like a blank screen, which would hopefully in the future it will have like a loading screen or something, some pretty design behind it. But it's this is the thing which makes it feel snappy, and yeah, that's pretty much it.
And the most important part, maybe, strategically, is that all of this is open source. All of this is on our GitHub repository, and you can go check it out and see it for yourself. So, yeah, I think this is the update for the development milestone for Proposal App. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.